Hey guys, I'm back here today with some shoulder stretches that some of you guys had asked for me to cover. So you guys can just follow along with me. I'm trying out the portrait filming format today. I know that I personally do everything on my phone, so this is just a little bit easier for me to see details, but you guys let me know if you prefer landscape format. I know that everyone doesn't do everything on their phones. So we'll get started if June will let us here. She is really wanting the lovin's today. Alright, so we'll start with like the basic shoulder stretch that, we've been doing since elementary school. We're going to take that elbow, we're going to extend that arm as straight as we can, and we're going to use that hand to help pull that arm in close to our chest. If our upper body is twisting, you don't have the shoulder mobility. Stay squared to the front. We want our shoulders to maintain that alignment with our hips here. This is a shoulder stretch, not a spine stretch. Alright, we're going to switch to the other side. Same thing, okay? Keep that elbow straight and locked out. We're really wanting to pull that tension through the back of our shoulder here. Alright, and the next one that I think all of us really know, we're going to take that hand and pat ourselves on the back, and we're going to use this hand to pull our shoulder as far behind our head as we can get. I know that everyone's shoulder mobility isn't quite there. If as far as you can get is here, that's fine. I want you to feel that tightness and that stretch here, and I want you to pull it as far as feels comfortable and let it loose. And we're going to switch sides. Okay. So now we're going to do child's pose, I think is what it's called. I'm not yoga certified. So we're going to sit, squeeze those knees together, and we're going to reach out as far as we can. We're going to keep our head tucked for this. We want to think of pulling our ears through our shoulders. And I kind of grip the floor with my fingertips when I do this one, so that I can get a little deeper of a stretch. I think of pushing my armpits down to the ground. From here, we're going to cross those fingers behind our back. We're going to extend those elbows straight, and we're going to pull back toward our head as far as we can go. Yeah. Okay. So if child's pose didn't really target that shoulder area enough, you can take it up to toes, and you're going to shift that weight backwards, and we're still going to be thinking of pulling our ears through our shoulders, okay? So if you're feeling that more in your hamstrings than in your shoulders, you can sit down, or you can think of pulling your chest to your knees. Okay. We're going to use a band in a minute, so if you have a band, have that on standby. This next one, we are going to cross these arms, pull together, and I'm going to grab my thumb. From here, I'm going to pull that hand, and we should feel that stretch in our rotator cuff. This bottom arm is mainly here for stability of that elbow, to keep that in a fixed point. And we're going to switch sides, same thing. I grab that thumb, I pull it out to the side. You feel it there, okay? All right. So with our band, we're going to use that to just pull up and back. Let me show you that from the side. So we're going to pull up. We're going to think of pulling our hands back and really opening through those shoulders, open that chest, and let it in. So you can also kind of stretch your shoulders by doing overhead band pulls. I don't like those very much, but they are really good. All right. I really like this one. So for this one, we're going to sit on our bottom. We're going to put our hands behind us. We're going to keep those elbows locked and straight. And we're going to slide that lower body out as far as we can get it to go. We want to maintain high shoulders. We don't want to sink into those shoulders and round our back, because at that point you're not getting any tension in that shoulder. So keep a really tight core, keep that chest up, and breathe out as you slide out into that. All right, so our next stretches that we're going to do, usually I do this on the back of my couch, but really anything with a ledge that's going to hold your elbows and your hands sturdy is fine. Today I'm going to use some blocks. I've also done it on a yoga ball. I didn't like that as much. I like to have something a little bit more firm. So with this one, we're going to start with our elbows on the blocks. And we're going to pull our head through our shoulders and keep those hands in a praying position. And really lean into that. So I have the tendency to pull my rib cage down so that I can get a deeper stretch into that. But if here is plenty enough, that's completely fine. You can sit those hips back and push your belly toward the floor for a little bit deeper of a stretch though. My helper today. All right, so kind of based off of that one, we're going to do a very similar thing. So we're just going to have our hands on the block. Elbows are going to stay straight. And we're going to push through those arms again with our head. And you can rotate those fingertips up to target that upper shoulder area a little bit more. All right. And so our last stretches that I'm going to show you guys, I like to do them in a door frame because I have a little bit more range of motion and I'm not like hugging up against a wall. But we're going to do these on the wall today. So for this one, we're going to have our arms out in a T. We're going to drop one and we're going to think of gluing that shoulder to the wall and maintaining that upright position. But we want as much of our arm on the wall as possible. We're going to do the same thing with the other side. And then you can also do it with bent arms. This one doesn't have as much mobility, but I think it gets a deeper front shoulder stretch. Another mobility drill that you can do for your shoulders, it doesn't necessarily stretch. We can take those hands up and we want to try to keep our backs of our hands and our elbows glued to the wall, right? We don't want a big arch in that back. We want all of the posterior side of our body to touch as much of the wall as possible. So that's all I have for you guys today. But if you have any suggestions or you have any other areas that you want a specific video for some stretches on, just let me know in the comments. And I'll see you guys soon.